Welcome to Sola Melodica. I am Tim Kaiser, and on this channel we reflect and react to music lyrically, looking for redemptive qualities in the gift that is music. And I'm trying something different. We did this last week as well. I'm going to react to an interview. And in this interview is Alice Cooper being interviewed by Sammy Hagar. Now, both of these are two of my favorite musicians. I remember when Sammy Hagar's Standing Hampton album came out when I was a kid. I think I had it on cassette probably. I wore that thing out, and I've been a big fan of Alice Cooper since I was little. And I've seen both of them live. They're both great performers. And we're going to pick up this interview about halfway through, and we'll see what Alice Cooper has to say on the questions from Sammy Hagar. And I think this very first question is a great question.
Do you ever feel like a hypocrite in any way about, with this alter ego that, this guy that you are, this Alice character that is a villain and a dark guy, and some young kids taking that serious? And
my favorite rock star is
you're
still
okay
Alice
with
Cooper.
all that?
Yeah, the character Alice Cooper is
you're
still
okay
my
with him.
favorite rock star.
You're still okay with him.
And
what do you do to
great.
balance that in your real life? Philanthropy of some kind, or you take care of kids? You have a foundation?
I'm Christian.
Yeah.
I go to church every Sunday. I Bible study.
Yeah, but do you go to ask for forgiveness or do you
Oh yeah, all the time. If you're a Christian, you're asking for forgiveness all the time.
Sunday.
You spend all your time asking for forgiveness when you're a Christian. But I think people have the wrong focus on Christianity. It is, it's a one-on-one relationship with Christ. That's what it is. Yeah. It's not what you see on television and church with this and that and that. That happens and everything. That's great. But it's a one-on-one relationship, and it doesn't interfere with Alice Cooper. I mean, there are songs I won't do now. But 18, school's out. I mean, all the horror songs are fun. I mean, there was nothing ever satanic about Alice Cooper.
Bucket list. What do you want to do? What's in you?
I would love to see an Alice Broadway play.
Ooh.
With somebody else playing me, but with me telling the guy playing me how to play Alice, because there's a great story there.
There is a great story. I could see that in a second.
Yeah,
but I mean, what about outside of your musical thing? Do you have you want to save the world in some kind of way? Do you want to build a building?
We are never going to run out of kids in trouble.
Yeah.
We are never going to run out of teenagers in trouble. And the Solid Rock Foundation, the thing that we started 14 years ago, I said, what is the one thing, if you take a kid from the worst ghetto and a kid from the greatest house in Beverly Hills and put them in a room, what are they going to talk about? Who are you listening to? What's music? What's your music? So if that's the common denominator, take that 15-year-old kid that's already born into the gangs. Mom and dad are both in gangs, and they're arguing about which gang he's going to be in, not if he's going to be in a gang. And that kid goes, I want to play guitar though. Well, we opened that place for him to plplay that guitar.
And you have musical instruments and things?
They learn guitar, bass, drums, everything free. And so we get 25, 30 kids a day in there. 100 kids, some 150 kids a week that are religious about showing up. And it's a Christian nonprofit, but we're not beating them over the head with the Bible. We're not doing anything. We're just saying, play rock and roll.
Yeah. Music gives you a focus and a direction, and sports, things something that you love, but everyone loves music. No one would not want to play music.
Well, everybody identifies with somebody in music.
We got to wind it up, Alice, but honestly, I could talk to you for 100 years, and I've known you for 100 years. And
we come from the same school.
And I wish I knew you. I keep telling everybody, I know I've known Alice for a long time, but I really don't know him. I'm not sure I know you anymore, but I know you've got a good heart, and your heart's in the right place. And you're a talented son of a gun. You've been around a long time, and there's a reason for that.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, Alice Cooper being interviewed by Sammy Hagar. So very good question. Do you ever feel like a hypocrite playing the person or the character of Alice Cooper? And I've seen Alice Cooper in concert, and it seems like he does disconnect who he is, even though he has the legal name of Alice Cooper now, from the character Alice Cooper. And that's very interesting concept there. And he asked, how do you balance that out? He says, well, I'm a Christian. Now, that might send some Christians over the deep end saying, oh, my God, he can't be a Christian. And it might send some people on the other side saying, oh, my God, he's such a hypocrite. Oh, he's a foul pervert, whatever, because we think we can, our judgment's always right, So anyway, but that's a really good question. He's like, I'm a Christian, and, I go to church, read my Bible study and all that. And then Sammy Hagar kind of interjected, kind of kidding, not kidding, And so do you go to ask for forgiveness? And Cooper's like, if you're a Christian, you're always asking for forgiveness, and I can attest to that fact because if you've been around this channel ever, you realize I'm really clear and honest about this, that Christians aren't perfect, and we shouldn't act as though we are perfect. And it's going to be one of those things where we are simply not perfect, and so when we mess up, and the Bible clearly says, when you sin, you ask for forgiveness. Basically, He's faithful and just to forgive you of your sin and cleanse you of all unrighteousness. And then He said something else though, and He said it's a one-on-one relationship, and it's not about raising your hands, and I totally get that. However, this one-on-one relationship thing is not one-sided. This is really important, a really important fact to know. And the knowing your audience, and Sammy Hagar, I don't know what his background is from faith or anything, but I mean, depending on who you're talking to, the truth is that one relationship is this: He's the boss and I'm not. So if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. He expects certain behaviors from us, and when we fall short, then we ask for forgiveness of those. And we're always falling short because we're imperfect people in an imperfect world, accomplishing imperfect tasks all the time. When we should be kind, we're angry. When we should be loving, we're hateful. And when we should show mercy, we're relentless, and trying to get revenge and unforgiveness. And it's just in our nature, and we can't do this on our own, right? So that it is ask for forgiveness, and it's not just asking for forgiveness. It's asking for forgiveness and forsaking that sin. And the good news is there's grace there for that. The kind of bad news is it's going to be like that forever, because it's kind of like you climb one mountain peak and you solve one issue in your life, and you look and, oh my gosh, there's a bigger mountain I didn't know. Or you go down a valley and you look up, there's a bigger valley, a bigger mountain, and it's like Mount Doom or something from like Lord of the Rings. It's crazy because we think we can fix this on our own, but we can't. And it's almost like I hate to say it, I'm not saying this flippantly, it's like a setup. We have to depend on God. But good interview. I love the whole idea and I'll be honest with you, the fact that Alice Cooper can separate the character from the person is amazing to me. I don't know how he does it. I'm not sure. I can't reconcile it in my brain. Not my call. I'm not his God. I'm not having anything to do with him. My judgment for him doesn't matter. I love his music. Fun fact, he's like a semi-pro golfer. He's like really, really good. And his foundation sounds a lot like School of Rock, but it's free, which is awesome. So he's trying to help people, but his relationship with God seems really, really solid with him. And that's what's important. So Alice Cooper, again, trying to reconcile it, but that's okay. It's not my call. Love his music, enjoy his tunes, and I'm glad that one day, since I've never met him before, we'll probably hang out in heaven together. I hope this video has been a blessing to you. I will see you soon with a new video, with music stuff in the background. And until then, may the peace of God, the grace of God come upon you and overwhelm you.